Did you know that you can take professional looking photos using your phone camera? Of course, it is so if you know the proper techniques and their applications. All it takes is the right kind of knowledge, patience and a lot of practice. What's up everybody, this is Shekhar Ghosh from Chitragya, the photography expert, and today we are gonna learn about how to take professional looking photos using your phone camera. Let us start with a list of the things that you will need to achieve professional looking photos of your product. First of all, you will need a phone with a decent enough camera. In my case, I am using Redmi 6 Pro and it has a camera of 12 megapixel which produces an image of 4000 by 3000 pixels. Then you will need a light source. It can be an artificial light or natural light source. I am using a small ring light that is powered by phone charger or USB. If you don't have a light like that, you can use an electric torch or a second phone with an LED flash. You can also use natural light coming from a window. Smaller sources of light are harsher and hence we need a way to diffuse it by using some kind of light modifier. In my case, I have turned the light away from the product and put a white reflector in such a way that the product receives a reflected light instead of receiving it directly from the light source. Did you notice the way the product gets lit softly when I bring in the reflector? You can use a thermocol or a styrofoam sheet or even a thick white paper sheet as a reflector. In case you are using a window as a source of light, you can use a thin white cloth to diffuse it and produce a more uniform lighting. Next, you will need a tripod or a stand to hold your phone sturdy enough to reduce camera shakes. In my case, I am using a flexible clamped stand. I use this for online meetings and creating mobile videos. The small ring light is a part of the same stand. Next, we need a background to put your product against. It can be anything. You can really get creative here. I have used a textured cloth piece which I got from a furniture manufacturing unit. Let me switch off the lights so the ambient light doesn't affect my photo. Now, let us start with the photography. Open your camera app. The camera will open in auto mode by default. Switch to manual mode. In my phone camera, the first setting that we can toggle is white balance. The smaller number or Kelvin will result in bluer or cooler tone, and the higher number will result in warmer or more orange tone. The light I am using is warm white, hence it should be somewhere between 4200 to 4800 Kelvin. 4400 Kelvin looks great to me. Next, let us move to focus. Either you can choose autofocus for the camera AI to do the focusing for you, or you can focus the subject manually. I'll do the focusing manually. Since my product is kept very near to my lens, I'll start from 0 and shift it towards a higher number. I feel my image looks sharpest at 9. Next thing you would want is the ISO to be the least possible your camera allows. This will ensure the least amount of noise in your picture. Since your camera is mounted on a stand or a tripod, it gives you liberty to choose even a slow shutter speed to achieve a proper exposure. You will have to give a trial on various shutter speed settings because the camera doesn't show you the exact result in preview. You can see the result only after you click the picture. That is how it looks after I set the shutter speed to 1/2 seconds. You will have to experiment and see which setting will give you the desired exposure. In my case, I have fixed the white balance, focus and ISO first and then experimented with various shutter speeds. Slower speed gave me brighter result and faster speed gave me darker result. So we are done taking the picture. Now let us move on to the post-processing part. Believe me, this is gonna be very interesting. You can either use a mobile app like Snapseed or Lightroom to process your image, or you can use computer softwares like Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom. I'll do the processing in Adobe Photoshop CC18. I've transferred the images from my phone to PC and will open the one I want to process. I prefer an image which is exposed for highlights. This helps me avoid the loss of details due to clipping in the image. First of all, I'll remove the dust and scratches on my product. Let me zoom in and inspect the image to see which areas need working upon. I will use the regular healing tool for cleaning the dust and scratches. Since I had not selected a source point for repairing, a dialog box popped up and showed this notification. I'll have to alt click to define the source point, and then I can start working on the areas that need repair. Alt click on a clean area or the area you want to patch up on the scratch or dust. I will speed it up so that you don't have to watch the whole process. In areas like this, healing the edges can be tricky. So you will have to alt click a source point which lies on the edge so that the edges don't get distorted or smudged during the process. Once we are thorough with the healing process, we will proceed to the color correction. I notice my image is slightly warm, which means it has an orange tone. For a more neutral color tone, I am going to create a color balance adjustment layer and slide the red cyan towards cyan. -11 looks appropriate to me. I'll drag the yellow blue slider towards blue, and I think +7 looks appropriate to me. Next, I'm going to create a curve adjustment layer and slide the top end or the highlight end of the curve towards left. This increases the overall brightness but will also clip some of the highlights. So to recover those clipped highlights, I'll double click the curve adjustment layer and use Blend If tool. A layer style dialog box will open. Alt click the right slider on the underlying layer band to break it apart and slide towards left. This will recover the highlights clipped due to the curve adjustment. Click OK. This is how the before and after looks. Before and after. Before and after. You can save your image after this, but I'll do some more adjustments, and for that I'll press Ctrl Alt Shift E to merge all the layers into a new layer and process this layer in a third-party plugin called ColorFX Pro 4. After the image gets loaded on the plugin, I'll choose from presets or recipes that I've created. I'll mostly play with the contrast and add some punch to my image. There are plenty of adjustments that you can do in this plugin to enhance your images. I will tweak the sliders a bit to get the desired result and click OK. Let's wait for the plugin to process and give us the result. I like how this came out, and now we'll save it. You can then crop the image the way you like and save various versions. This is the final image after post-processing. This looks pretty awesome, and these images can be used for websites and social media. These images are large enough to be used for small to medium sized prints. Hope I could create some value here and you could take away some knowledge from my video. So guys, keep clicking and keep practicing. Hit the like button if you like the video and share your opinions in the comment section. Subscribe my channel for more such informative videos, and you can also check out the kind of work Team Chitragya does here. This is Shekhar Ghosh from Chitragya the Photography Experts signing off. Hope to meet you soon in my next video. Till then, goodbye.